Hello everyone, I would like to go over this writing guide checklist with you. This checklist can be found in Blackboard as well. Most of the APA writing, style of writing errors I encountered in the past semesters is actually addressed in this writing guide checklist. Please take note of the two websites that are listed here to help you with APA. Right, so we go to the two websites are http://owl.edu.us/resource/560/01, and the other one is from the American Psychological Association website. Now let's talk about plagiarism. Now you are going to complete a self-assessment on plagiarism, and it's going to be located on the Blackboard left side menu. Please complete the self-assessment. This is not graded but needs to be completed. Now, very important, if you paraphrase, meaning you use your own words but the idea is not originally yours, then cite the source. It's very important. That is not your idea, so give due credit to the person who had originated or the originator of the idea. Now, most of your assignments will be submitted to Turnitin, which is going to give me a report on originality of your work. A cutoff is over 35% is suspicious. So make sure that your originality report is not over 35%. Otherwise, that could mean that you copied someone else's work. Let's talk about the font size. The font size should be adhered to from the title page to all the way down to the reference page. Some students use bigger font in the title page, which is incorrect. So the suggested font size is 10 to 12 font Times New Roman. I prefer Times New Roman, but however you can also use Courier font. Now the page setup, the margins top, bottom, side should be 1 inch. Just make sure that your Microsoft Word is not on the default settings, which may be 1.5 inches. You need to change them. It should only be 1 inch margin. How do I do this? Sometimes if I eyeball a paper and I think that it's not 1 inch, I use the ruler to measure it. Double spacing. All entries must be double space. Most errors that I see is that students do a lot of extra spacing between paragraphs. No. Even if it is between paragraphs, there should only be double space. Double space. No extra spaces between paragraphs. Page numbers. Page numbers should start in the title page. So number 1 should be the title page. Second is number 2 is the second page, and so on. This guideline states that running head is not required. It is not required, but if you do use the running head, you should put running head, wherein the correct format is capital letter RUNNING, but the H and the head should be lowercase, and then it is followed by a colon. Now the title that follows your running head should be a summary of the title of the paper. In the running head, you don't put or you don't write the entire title of the paper. Only it should only be like about 50 characters when it comes to running head. Now the phrase running head itself is drop off, second page, third page, and all the way down to your reference page. The only thing that should be written in there is the title itself, a summary of the title itself, meaning the running head phrase should already be deleted. Now, the title, the summary of the title of your paper that comes after the running head should be all caps. All caps, not lowercase. There should be all caps all in every pages of your paper. Title page, please take note of the information that I require for your module papers. You only need to write the title of the assignment, your name, prefix, which is your NUR, and the number. If it is 3119, then write 3119, and the name of the course. These are the only information that I would like to be seen in your title page. Please do not write or include any markings. Some students, they put some type of designs like flowers or color borders. Do not do that. Do not place any designs or borders in your title page. And the font size of your title page should be 12. So if you start with 12, all the way down should be 12. If you started with 10, then make sure that the font size of your paper is also 10. In other words, be consistent. Now, abstract, you may be asking about the abstract. For module papers in this course, abstract is not needed. This is not a research paper. However, if you want to learn about abstract, uh, research papers require abstracts. And what are included in an abstract? Usually it's include the background of the study, methodology, methods, contribution, and others. This should only be from 150 to 250 words. Some professors or some journals even require less. Some of them they require about 100-word abstract. But as I have said, I do not require an abstract for module papers, nor do I require an author's notes. Other professors may require you, but not in this course, which only we are only doing like short papers. Now, for the headings are used to organize your paper. So there are different types of headings, and I would like you to review page 62 of the APA manual for more information about headings. The most common error that I see in the papers is the use of the first level heading. The first level heading should be bolded, centered on the paper, and should use upper and lower cases. The word introduction is no longer written at the beginning of the paper, and that is on page 27 of the APA manual. So do not write the word introduction. You can write the title of the paper, which should be centered but not bolded, and use upper and lower cases, and then followed by your first paragraph, which serves as the introduction of your paper. Paragraph. This is another area where students commit mistakes. Paragraph should be indented. Every paragraph should be indented. It should be like about approximately 6 to 8 spaces or half an inch according to the APA manual. And the setting should be flush to the left. Do not use justifies as your setting for your paragraph. Again, this is a common error that I see committed by students. Gender bias, avoid using she, referring to the nurse, because as you will all know, there are also male nurses. She/he is acceptable. And also eliminate the word you in your paper. Write the writer, the clients, the participant, whatever the case may be. Proper use of punctuation marks. What punctuation marks? Generally the use of comma, semicolon, and period. So please review and refer to chapter 4, pages 87 to 95 of your APA manual for review of proper use of punctuation marks. And most errors also are on run-on sentences or very long sentences. You need to separate your ideas. You may have to cut down your ideas into two statements or two sentences with proper use of punctuation marks. As I have mentioned earlier, spacing, you double space only, no quadruple, no triple spacing, just double spacing. Grammar and spell checks. Microsoft Word has features that correct grammar and spelling, but I want to let you know that most medical terminologies are marked misspelled by the computer. Do not worry if it is a medical terminology. I dismiss the comment generated by the computer. You will know that the comments made are computer generated because the corrections are in purple or lavender in color. My comments are in blue. Misspelled words are underlined red when you are writing it in Microsoft, whereas spacing, incongruent subject and verb, and the use of prepositions are usually underlined green. Please review chapter 3 of the APA manual, the title of which is Writing Clearly and Concisely. Prescribed number of words or pages must be adhered to. In modules, for these courses, I did not say count words, but rather number of pages. So there is a module paper that is only like 1 to 1.5 pages. So please adhere to that one. To get your ideas across with less words is what I'm trying to say in here. It is a skill that we need to develop. Abbreviation, this is also fully discussed in the APA manual, pages 106 to 111. The first time you are going to write what they call this, like an agency or a title like a registered nurse, spell out the words first before you abbreviate. How to do that is in explained in pages 106 to 111 of your manual. Numbers, this is also discussed in chapter 4.3, pages 111 to 114 of the APA manual. When do you spell out the numbers, or when do you write the number itself? Now, let's go down to how to credit sources in your paper. Crediting sources are fully discussed in chapter 6 and 7 of the manual. I would like you to thoroughly read or review those chapters. You will find examples on how to cite correctly both within the text of the paper and in the reference page, as well as in the writing guide checklist. Again, most errors are the citation of the resources. If a source is cited in the text of the paper, the source should also be found in the reference page. There is an exception, however. Personal communication should be found in the in-text citation. However, they are not included in the reference page because personal communications are not retrievable. There is a format on how to cite personal communication, and that is found on page 179 of the APA manual. I would like to remind everyone to keep direct quotes to the minimum. Direct quotes means you lifted verbatim whatever the author has written in the book, and you should keep that to the minimum. Why? Because when you do a lot of direct quotations, it's just like copying the work of the author. I would like you to do paraphrasing. That means using your own words, but the idea is credited to the authors. The reference page is a separate page. This is not a continuation of the body of the paper. So even if your paper ends like halfway through the last page, the reference page should be found on the next page. The reference page is a separate page. The word reference or references, if you have one, you put one reference, then you say reference. If you have more than one, then you say references. Must be centered, not bolded, not capitalized. You only capitalize the first letter of the word reference. That means letter R should be capitalized. Read a checklist for guidance. And please do not number your resources. Just alphabetize them. Now, the reference page should be double space also and should use hanging indents. Now, how to do hanging indents? You can click paragraph. This is how I do it. I click paragraph, and then in the paragraph it says there's a choice of hanging indent. Just check on that, click on that, and then apply OK. All right, so that's it. You just need to review the writing resources, nursing student writing guide checklist, and your APA manual. If there is a question or a discrepancy, our resource, primary resource to settle that discrepancy is your APA manual. Any questions? You can email me.